is no other Australian city north of Darwin. Beyond it lies the Timor Sea, and beyond that again, Asia. It's this closeness to Asia that makes Australia's top-end city so different. Because here, 47 different racial and cultural backgrounds merge and mix to create one of Australia's most unique lifestyles. A lifestyle shaped by just two seasons, the wet and the dry. Separated from Australia's other capital cities by vast distances and some of the nation's most inhospitable terrain, this top-end city has a special frontier character, a certain air of adventure. Once a remote tropical outpost, Darwin has grown at its own leisurely pace into a colourful city of around 70,000 people with an easygoing lifestyle that's envied further south. Two dramatic events created the top-end city of today. After massive air raids during World War II, and again following the almost total destruction wrought by Tropical Cyclone Tracy in 1974, Darwin was rebuilt to become a fine, modern city. Many of Darwin's buildings have their own special air of individuality, having risen defiantly from the rubble of the past. Yet despite its remoteness and its special spirit of adventure, Darwin also has its sophisticated side, with the high-rolling life of the Diamond Beach Hotel Casino, an energetic disco and club scene, and a love of fine dining that's geared to a year-round calendar of balmy tropical nights. But some of the most spectacular tropical nights are experienced out on Darwin Harbour. Known for its legendary sunsets, this huge top-end harbour covers an area of more than 1,000 square kilometres, twice the size of Sydney Harbour. It's home port to a large fishing fleet which harvests the marine riches of the Timor Sea. Darwin was bombed at least 60 times during World War II, and its harbour is an official war grave. In the Darwin Aviation Museum are other reminders of those grim days. A B-25 Mitchell and a replica of the legendary Spitfire are rare surviving examples of the aircraft that flew in defence of the city. More modern exhibits include helicopters and the distinctive shape of a Sabre jet fighter. A familiar sight in Darwin skies during the 1960s. But pride of place in the museum belongs to this mammoth B-52 bomber, the only airworthy example displayed outside the United States. A de Havilland Dove airliner is dwarfed by just its tailplane. On Christmas Eve, 1974, more than 90% of Darwin was destroyed by Tropical Cyclone Tracy. Even the city's most robust stone buildings were cut down. Some, like the Palmerston Town Hall, still lie in tatters, while others, like Christchurch Cathedral, have risen with striking boldness from the ruins. The famous Hotel Darwin, built in 1939, miraculously survived the battering. With its pre-war wicker and palm atmosphere, straight from a Somerset Maugham novel, it remains one of the finest hotels designed for the tropics. Before World War II, Darwin was, to the rest of Australia at least, a remote colonial outpost. This isolation and its feeling of being distinctly different brought to the city a very special, proud identity that still echoed in the romantic appeal of its many colonial buildings. Perhaps the most exquisite example of Darwin's old colonial charm is Government House, the city's oldest European structure. Built in 1870, it was once simply known as the Residency, or the House of the Seven Gables. Many of Darwin's attractions are unique to the top-end city. A great adventure for children and adults alike is to feed the fish at Aquascene. When the tides are right, the warm waters of Doctor's Gully appear to boil as batfish, mullet, bream, milkfish, rock cod and catfish swim in frantically to literally take food from eager hands. This daily ritual began by accident almost 30 years ago, when a local diver casually hand-fed a few mullet at high tide for personal enjoyment. Below the waters of Darwin Harbour, and accessible only to divers, lie coral reefs of astonishing beauty. But at Darwin's Indo-Pacific Marine, this unique underwater world has been brought to the surface for all to see. This is one of only 4 marine centres in the world to have succeeded in nurturing a living, working coral reef away from the sea. Indo-Pacific Marine's founder, Mrs. Helene Pretty, had no qualifications in this field when she began this daunting project in 1972, but achieved what many world authorities on the subject had failed to do. Each marine environment here is a small, self-sustaining underwater world, a world of brilliant colors and extraordinary creatures. This very special underwater world on dry land looms even larger when seen through specially provided magnifying viewers. Just 5 kilometers from the center of Darwin is Fanny Bay Jail. Darwin's prison for 96 years, it's now a museum, which includes a fascinating display on Cyclone Tracy. As the cyclone unleashed its fury on the top-end city, the prisoners were released from these appallingly hot and claustrophobic cells for their own safety. 14 men were hanged at Fanny Bay, with the last occurring in 1952, when 2 men were executed. The chilling gallows, especially constructed in the jail's infirmary for this final hanging, still remains. face of Darwin is distinctly cosmopolitan, and nowhere is its rich mix of cultures more apparent than at the Mindil Beach sunset markets, just metres from the beach beside the casino. As the sun sets over the Timor Sea, Mindil Beach becomes a fascinating cultural adventure as friendly voices and exotic foods from more than 20 different lands spice the tropical air. South of Darwin are two of the top end's most inviting places, Berry Springs and Howard Springs. Cool, emerald green oases that are the very epitome of the tropics. The natural swimming pools of Berry Springs, surrounded by lush rainforest, are a haven in the North's constant heat. The sparkling, spring-fed pool of Howard Springs is surrounded by thick monsoon rainforest. The crystal spring water bubbles to the surface endlessly, creating idyllic swimming holes that are the natural home of barramundi and tortoises. Howard Springs was a popular recreational area for servicemen stationed in Darwin during the war. The culture of Australia's Aborigines stretches back into the Dreamtime mists of more than 40,000 years ago. One of its legacies is the corroboree, an ancient ceremony in which ritual stories are told through song and dance. The corroboree remains a mystical force for Aboriginal people. And in the top end, its power is demonstrated to Darwin's visitors during specially staged recreations. Apart from the use of dramatic body painting and authentic instruments like the didgeridoo, today's recreations of the corroboree place great emphasis on the tribal ritual of participation.
There's flour and something inside there. You sort of rub your lips inside with. Oh, there you are.
Many corroboree stories recall the hunting of the top end's animals. Animals which can be seen in close-up at the Territory Wildlife Park just south of Darwin. Australia's handsome native dog, the dingo, can be seen here. A dog believed to have arrived with the first Aborigines. And the lumbering buffalo, a species introduced from Asia, brought great destruction to the wetlands of the north before being eradicated.
One thing I
I did forget to mention that
The park's
female
rangers give regular demonstrations of the hunting skills of the top end's birds of prey,
usually about twice the
like the
size.
majestic sea eagle
You also get caught.
and its smaller cousin, the kite. The most beautiful feature of the Territory Wildlife Park is its magnificently conceived walk-through aviaries. Each has its own distinctive environment, ranging from lush rainforest to open woodland and dryland. In the main aviary, a raised boardwalk gives a bird's eye view of these different environments which are so unique to the top end. Also part of the Territory Wildlife Park, an underwater aquarium revealing the private lives of the fish of the top end. It's a chance to see the magnificent barramundi, one of Australia's most prized freshwater catchers, and one of the tastiest. Residing in crystal waterholes throughout the north is a large tortoise population. The Territory Wildlife Park's aquarium reveals this leisurely reptiles habitat, both below and above the waterline. Despite the civilization of Darwin itself, the top end's frontier wilderness is never far away. Nearby rivers, like the Adelaide, appear deceptively tranquil, because in these waters lurk the North's most feared reptile, the saltwater crocodile. Believed to have changed little since the age of the dinosaur, the crocodile is a silent giant of enormous power. It includes man on its list of prey. One of the top end's most legendary crocodiles was Sweetheart, a male measuring more than 5 meters long, which had a fearsome reputation for attacking aluminium boats. Sweetheart drowned while being removed from a billabong and is now exhibited at the Darwin Museum of Arts and Sciences. Darwin is host to Australia's first crocodile farm, where up to 7,000 sets of hungry jaws have to be fed every day. The crocodiles, both salt and freshwater species, range in size from hatchlings just centimetres long to full-grown reptiles of 5 metres. Feeding time at the crocodile farm is a never-to-be-forgotten sight. Crocodiles become lazy in captivity, so are fed in a way that forces them to stalk their lunch, and hopefully not the ranger serving it. The crocodile enclosures are fenced in a way that creates uninterrupted views for photographers. It's a rare opportunity to get extremely close to these dangerous creatures in complete safety. Most of the crocodiles to be seen in the viewing pools have been captured in the wild and brought from beaches and riverbanks where they've been a threat to humans. This is a working farm with a sophisticated breeding program. It cultivates the crocodiles for their highly prized skins, which are used for fashion items such as handbags and shoes. And crocodile meat is growing in popularity, particularly in restaurants overseas. But to see a crocodile in the wild, face to face, is the ultimate top-end experience. The famous Jumping Crocodile Tour on the Adelaide River seeks out the great reptiles.
They are very, very agile, very quick through the water and on the land mass, highly intelligent,
searching for the telltale ripple and the pair of floating eyes.
On the crocodile itself. Heads up, having a look. Here we go. Up, half-hearted effort, 2 good jumps on him, the third one not so good. 1 more, and then he can take his food and away he'll go with it.
East of Darwin, in an extensive wetland area near Humpty Doo, lie the lily-covered ponds of Fog Dam. Once the site of an ambitious but disastrous endeavour to grow rice in the early 1950s, this beautiful place is now one of the North's most vital refuges for breeding birds. Bird watchers and photographers also flock here to see such unique species as Australia's only stork, the jabiru. A 110 kilometres south of the top-end city is one of the Northern Territory's most recently opened parks. Sprawling over 65,000 hectares, Litchfield Park chatters with the sound of waterfalls and rock pools. Deep in the park, and for the more adventurous, are the eerie avenues of the lost city. From these sandstone rock formations loom images of castle ramparts, statues, and frozen faces. One of Darwin's most popular locations, a half-day drive from the city, is the most famous, most evocative of all Australia's national parks. Its name is Kakadu, the dreaming place. Kakadu is dominated by the Arnhem Land escarpment, a sheer sandstone spine stretching for 600 dramatic kilometres, and behind which lies the Arnhem Land Plateau. In its shadow, monsoon rainforests thrive. This is the only national park in the world with a complete river system contained within its boundaries. A system which causes Jim Jim Creek to spill spectacularly into the thundering rush of Jim Jim Falls. The outpouring of such enormous volumes of water in the wet season creates the Kakadu wetlands, magnificent floodplains containing 1/3 of all Australia's bird species. A World Heritage Site, Kakadu is the jewel of the top end, a natural treasure that lives at the very core of Australia's Aboriginal heritage. This is powerfully demonstrated at the park's rock art sites. At Obiri Rock and Norlangi Rock are natural galleries holding priceless works of art believed to be 60,000 years old. The Aboriginal art of Kakadu depicts the spiritual figures of an ancient lifestyle, a heritage which, only in recent times, European man has begun to value and protect. Darwin is a contemporary city, a city for today. It stands at the very tip of northern Australia. A gateway to some of the most spectacular landscapes in the world. To a glorious natural wonderland. And while it's a gateway for modern man, Darwin's location at the top end of Australia also made it a gateway through which ancient man passed to establish a foothold in perhaps the oldest land of all. If you enjoyed this glimpse of Darwin, Australia's top-end city, you'll see the complete Northern Territory picture in 2 further titles from the Panorama Australia series. In Land of the Rainbow Gold, magnificent panoramas unfold of such stunning natural monuments as Ayers Rock, the Olgas, Chambers Pillar, Kings Canyon, and much more. While in Land of Nature's Dreaming, we explore more fully the mystical wonders of Kakadu and Litchfield Park, before taking our cameras further south to Mataranka, Catherine Gorge, and the Roper River, To order these 2 stunning videos from the Panorama Australia series, send your order form to the retail outlet where you purchased the tape you're watching. Or send it direct to Panorama Australia in the reply paid envelope.